Comic-Con. So for that, I'm going to be reading, lots of editing to do. Hey fellow fiction fanatics, I'm Chase. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my monthly wrap-up for August. I will also be participating in Becca's Bookopolathon in September, so I'll tell you how that went later on in the video. So I was able to read 4 books this month. The first book I read was Shuri by Nick Stone. This obviously features Shuri from Black Panther. She is the genius sister of T'Challa and the Princess of Wakanda. She is probably one of my favorite Disney princesses, and I was really excited to go into this book and see her story. So in this story, Shuri goes on an adventure to save the heart-shaped herb that is dying. This herb is essential to Wakanda because it gives the Black Panther his enhanced strength and power. I really love Shuri and her friend, and I loved their different personalities and how they sort of clashed but mixed together really well. I really enjoyed their friendship and their relationship. Thought they were both really fun. Unfortunately, there was quite a few things that I didn't like about this story. One was, I couldn't tell when it was set in the Marvel Universe. My best guess would have to be that it is after Civil War and before Black Panther, because T'Challa is now the Black Panther. I couldn't really tell otherwise, and like I said, I would just be guessing. So I felt like that should have been established to help set up the story better. I also really hated that no one took Shuri seriously, even though she is a genius and she was totally on point and knew exactly what was going on, but everyone just sort of blew her off or wouldn't let her help with anything even when they knew something was going down. So that just infuriated me, and I didn't like that. I just feel like this book didn't add anything to her character or the story in general, and I was just expecting more out of it. So for these reasons, I gave this book 3 stars. I'd like to take a minute to talk about Chadwick Boseman. When I heard about his passing, it just made me sad. He was such a wonderful, phenomenal person. I'm going to severely miss him, and I know all his fans love him so much. He will forever and always be T'Challa in my mind. He is the Black Panther, and I love him so much. My heart goes out to his family and to all his fans. I saw this beautiful tribute by Nicholas Smith on Instagram, and I'd like to share it here. It's just so touching. I had no idea that he was going through cancer. I'm a cancer survivor myself, so this is really heartbreaking for me. He's just such a wonderful individual. He was so kind and just had this wonderful spirit about him. So I collect bookmarks. Last year I actually went to Comic-Con with my husband and my best friend, and I got this Black Panther Wakanda Forever bookmark, and I'm so glad I have this. I love this so much, and it just means even more to me now. He will definitely be missed. I'd just like to say, rest in power, Chadwick Boseman. The next book I read was Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. This book is about this girl named Stargirl, and she is this new girl in town, and she is very unique. So she starts going to school with all these kids, and she shakes everything up. So the things I liked about this book, Stargirl, except for the fact that she had a pet rat. I did not like that. I don't care what anybody says. I can't deal with mice or rats or anything like that. So that's just a personal thing. But other than that, I thought she was amazing. Things I disliked about this book. Everyone else. They were all awful. I could not stand them. Stargirl was only ever nice and kind and helpful towards them. And how did they repay her? They were intimidated, rude, inconsiderate, resentful, and hurtful towards her. And that was just incredibly frustrating and irritating and aggravating. So, no, I did not like this book, and I gave it 2 stars. The next book I read was The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan. This is the 3rd book in the Trials of Apollo series, which is where Apollo has been cast down to Earth as a mortal as a punishment by Zeus. He is trying to regain his godly status. He has to face a lot of trials in order to get there. Oh man, did I love this book. I really love the humor in this novel. It is so funny. I love the characters, both old and new. They have a special place in my heart, and they are so fun. Just a fantastic group of friends. I absolutely loved Apollo's character development. You really see it in this third book. He starts to see the benefits of humanity, and he starts to see the gods in a different perspective, and you can just really see him learn and grow, which is a really big deal for him. The only thing I could say if I disliked anything about this book is that the first time I read this, it broke me. So it's definitely laid out what could possibly happen, but I didn't think that it would actually come true. I thought there would be a loophole or something, but it happened. Oh man, I was not ready for that. So the first time I read this, it put me in a huge book hangover. But the second time around, I was prepared more, and I was able to get through it. I will be reading the fourth book, The Tyrant's Tomb, in the very near future, and we'll be continuing on with this series. If you haven't picked this series up, I definitely recommend that you do. So I really love this book, and I gave it 5 stars. And last but certainly not least is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. So this book is about Laszlo Strange. He's obsessed with the lost city that is now only known as Weep. As a junior librarian at the Great Library, he is constantly searching for any signs of the lost city, but he believes that he is a nothing, a no one, an orphan, and he's constantly asking himself what could he do for the lost city of Weep. But the dream chooses the dreamer, not the other way around. I really enjoyed this book. I was thoroughly intrigued the whole time. I really enjoyed the characters as well. I think with this book, it's probably best to go in blind, so I'm trying not to say too much about it. But there were a few twists in here that I really enjoyed. The only thing I dislike about this book is that I do not have the second book on hand, and that ending, I need the second book now. So I will be reading that as soon as I can. And this book completed my TBR challenge to read an intimidating book. So for Becca's Bookopolathon, I'm going to roll 4 times to determine which book I should read this September. So unfortunately, the footage for my Becca's Bookopolathon just aren't working, so I'll just explain what happened here. So for Becca's Bookopolathon, she has this wonderful board that she made. I'll put it over here. So for my first roll, I got a 3 and a 4. So that's 7, and I landed on a chance. What I did was I made a list of 8 books, 4 that I would enjoy, and 4 that I maybe want to read as much. And then I rolled an 8-sided die to determine which of these books I would read. And I rolled a 3, which means I would be reading Daisy Jones and the Six. For my second roll, I rolled a 5 and a 1, which had me land on a book with POC representation. So for that, I'm going to read Cinderella is Dead by Callan Bayron. I'm really excited for this book and very glad that I can put it on this TBR. For my third roll, I rolled a double. I got a 4 and a 4, which had me land on First in a Series. So for that, I'm going to be reading The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. This is a reread for me, but I am really excited to be rereading it, and it definitely has that spooky fall vibe that I'm definitely into right now. I then rolled a 2 and a 3, which landed me on Fire on the Cover. So I'm kind of cheating, but not really. It's more like a loophole. I'm really excited to read Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. This is the 3rd book in the Nevermore series. Although the US cover doesn't have fire on it, the UK cover does. So I will be choosing this book for this prompt. And because we got that double, I had to do one more roll. And for that, I rolled a 5 and a 6. And of course, that landed me on Big Book. I'm going to be reading Muse of Nightmares, which is the 2nd book in the Strange the Dreamer duology, because I need to know how this series ends. It is definitely a big book, but I'm looking forward to it, so hopefully I can get to all these books this month. Alright, so that's it for Becca's Bookopoly. Let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know what books you plan on reading for September, and if you participated in Becca's Bookopoly, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below, and if you have any videos doing this, I'd love to see them in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the love. I'll see you next time. Bye!